Ladies and gentlemen, you lovely ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. And today we're going to be looking at the Expert Proving Grounds. Now, if you watched my video on version 10.2, you'll know that we discussed this a little bit and the kind of impact it'd be on the game. Now, what I want to really kind of establish is how long it's going to take you to get a tier 4 tier 4 basic catalyst from doing this, the kind of amount of time that you'd need to put in, or the amount of time that it would take to get one. So what we're going to do is have a look at some statistics here. So by going into it, obviously you can see that its requirement as a recommended 11,200 from your total rating of your quest team that you put in. Now on the rewards section at the bottom, you'll see that it says on completion you get 650 of the tier 4 basic catalyst fragments, and then below for the exploration it's 1,000. So let's go into it, and because that's not always a kind of a dead cert that you're going to be getting that amount. You could get potentially more, or you could get potentially less. There could be chests in the game that mean you're allowed to get more. So what we'll do is we'll do a complete run through and then kind of get an idea on, say, how much you get at a time. You know, my experience may be different to someone else's. There may be, say, an average that you get. So we could then say that, you know, on average you get 2,000 fragments of the tier 4 basic a time. So therefore we get some statistics at the end, which then will give us an idea of how long it takes to form that tier 4 basic. So let's get into it. So from the start point, you can see from here that there's 3 routes as opposed to the 2 routes in the tier 3. At the top there is a 2-star chest, in the center 3-star and 4-star chest at the end of it. The opponents look quite strong on the 4-star. At the bottom, these ones have local nodes of health, and they have incoming nodes as well, so a 3rd special activates, so they're going to watch out with the 3rd special. Characters for this, I would probably recommend going on the final route to be, if you're a lower level and you really want that tier 4 basic, I would recommend using characters that maybe do power drain, so you know, your Hawkeyes, maybe even look towards nullifying effects from Scarlet Witch, anything really that takes away power gain or the ability to I'd say heal. So you know, you're looking at your visions, that would be quite effective. Lots of different kind of variations on characters would be great. It just depends what you've got. If you're lower rated, if you're higher rated, you're probably going to think this is a bit of a breeze. So let's go and complete one run and see how much we get from a chest. Now Loki is your end boss for this, and one thing that I have noticed when I've gone through the top route as well as all the other routes, the potential rewards, because there are like potential rewards, a lot of the time there is a potential of getting health potions, which is a really decent way of kind of like earning. And I have done a video about, you know, grinding and farming these health potions, which is really helpful. So if this is another way of getting these really kind of decent like level 3 and level 2 health potions, especially level 3 because they're needed more for higher up players, and even you guys at lower level, you know, you can find great value in these, then this is great and another kind of extra bonus to doing the Expert Proving Grounds. Right, so I've just finished the top route of the Expert Proving Grounds, and obviously as stated we get the 650, but we opened up one of the chests and got 320. So what I'm going to do is going to add that to the amount for the end part of the video, and let's get into the mid route. The great thing about this is it changes each time, so different characters you'll face off against, except for obviously Unstoppable Colossus there at the top. He seemed to be there for second time. This time around we're going through the middle, and there's not much to kind of write home about. It's just the same thing, except this might be a little bit more easier with the type of characters that are there. And there is a 3-star chest, so let's see if we get more than the 320 that we got before. Okay, so this is the mid route completed now, and just let's check through these results. Obviously we didn't get anything for the completion again of a new route, but we did get 400 fragments of the tier 4 basic, so again that adds on to our total. So we had 400 onto that. and we move on. Now, I must point out that I haven't actually been ambushed once during this, which is kind of irregular for this type of thing with the Proving Grounds, because most of the time you do get ambushed. This will be a nice little element because then it may add some more fragments, but obviously what we'll do is we'll do the final route and then give a final analysis and then tot up those scores of the fragments for the tier 4 basic and see how many times we have to do it over the space of the time that it runs, and the weeks and the months or whatever, in order to form that tier 4 basic. So here are the final results for the expert Proving Grounds mode. Now, obviously in this one, we got 1,000 tier 4 basic shards, fragments even with the 470 there. This then adds on to a grand total of 2,840 fragments. Okay, so people are going to ask now, right, well, Rich, I need 36,000 to form one tier 4 basic. How many times do I have to do this? Well, the figure you get from that is based on 36,000 divided by 2840, and this is based on my experience with this, what I got from the results. Obviously, results may vary, but 12.67 times. To kind of give you an idea, that is that's close to 26, 27 days. Let's just call it a month. It will take you a month of doing this in order to form one. Now, that's not too different to doing it from Alliance Quest perspective, and this is where the positives come into it. There are negatives with that, because people would say, well, Rich, I could just do, if I'm a higher up player, I can just do the tier 4 basic arena, get 1,000,000 points, 1,000,000.1 points, and then get the results. So that may be a better alternative for yourself. But for lower players that maybe want to kind of get about 2,000 fragments a time, then and this will then put them over, then that's great. Or you can be somebody who's completely independent from an alliance and get it that way. You could even do it through, say, being an alliance and getting alliance quests done. So that's really kind of alternatives and options there. And the positives out of this, and I will go back to the negatives in a minute, but the positives out of this are different in that you will get a lot more XP and gold by completing this. So you're going to look to get potentially 354 gold a time per fight, and then 415 for around about 415 for a boss, which is good. If you add that to the amount that you kind of like attack, I think there was about like 6 or 7 a time, to times that by 3 and then times that by the amount. It's a good amount of gold, and especially because the end you get 3,000 gold, so it's good. Not amazing, but it's good. XP, yeah, 710 a time from each kind of like battle. Boss battles give you about 827. There's great XP grinding potential, so you're going to see some kind of great grinding potential in tier 3s and also in tier 4s, so that's really positive. So ISO grinding is going to be there as well, and not to mention health pot grinding, because also there's an opportunity to get level 2s and level 3s, which is great in any case, because it really helps out players of high up there, low down there. That's great in any case. Negatives, one of the negatives and big negative is the amount of energy it costs. It costs you 133 energy, so that's like the equivalent to I'm just trying to think of how many hours that would kind of equate, but you can do, I think you get the equivalent to about 3 energy refills just about in one 24-hour cycle. So around about that. It may be a lot less than that, but that's a good part of your day. And if you're doing completion at the same time, this may feel that it's not a kind of a justified grind. So the other negative is you do not get ambushed. Now in the tier 3 one, you do get ambushed, and there's always a good chance to then earn some extra tier 3 basic fragments. In this one, it would be nice to earn some more tier 4 basic shards in order to increase that number of 284. So that's the downside. And also, maybe this would not be a good kind of idea for people to kind of grind out. Maybe they can't be as patient for a month worth of grinding to get this. So it's really up to you. I would have thought, and I would have hoped they would have added another 2,000 at least, maybe 1,000 fragments a time. But obviously, you know, sometimes I think Kabam, you know, they want to kind of give you a chance to kind of build on that. So that's rather than kind of giving you something that's easily obtainable, that you've got to work for it, which is a kind of a noble trait. But you know, I think some people will be a little bit frustrated there wasn't a little bit more fragments, not a huge amount, but just a little bit more. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what's your thoughts on the Expert Proving Ground. Is it something that you will use to get those extra fragments in order to kind of form your first tier 4 basic, or are you a long time player and think, well, I'm actually going to be preferring to do the arena, get 1.1 million, or rely on my alliance to get a decent score in Alliance Quest? Let me know your thoughts. It'd be interesting to hear from you. I've been RichTheMan. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed for content like this, where we look at exposing things and also kind of give great detail, as well as comic book history and other stuff. Yeah, follow me on social media. The link is in the description below. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.